Well, the Asian Champions League 2 dream is still alive for Sydney FC, who have defeated Bangkok United 5-4 in the round of 16 to progress through to the quarterfinals. Plenty of drama across both legs. Would love to hear your thoughts on how this game played out. And Sydney FC, are they capable of winning this tournament, of going all the way? We know the matches are just going to get tougher and tougher from here in the quarterfinals. But look, obviously they'll be hoping for success in this tournament, looking at what Central Coast Mariners did in this competition last year. They'll be wanting to replicate the feat of their fellow Australian club, Sydney FC. 3-2 on the night. It was a long night for Sydney FC fans. The game going to extra time, but the winner from Douglas Costa in the end. First of all, we have to talk about the lineup that Ufuk Talay deployed in this game, and I think the Sydney FC fans were crying out to see, especially Adrian Segacic, get more minutes in the Sydney FC lineup, and he did get that in this game, and did score another wonderful goal. This guy just is in incredible form right now. He is one of the most informed, if not the most informed player in the A-League right now. An unbelievable talent who, again, we just seem to talk about him every single week, Adrian Segacic. But Douglas Costa as well, stepping up big time with a winner. He came in for a start in this game as well. Look, probably a little bit concerned as well without Klamala and Waheem losing those guys for this match. But look, Sydney FC have that depth and quality to bring in Costa and Segacic into the starting lineup. Alex Grant as well, coming in for his first Sydney FC start, was solid at the back there alongside Ryan Grant, who again was filling in at centre back. Harrison Devonish-Mears again starting this game ahead of Andrew Redmayne. That has been a sort of an area of debate amongst Sydney FC fans over recent weeks. But it was a lineup that was capable of getting the win in the end. Sydney FC really had to use their bench as well. A couple of youngsters getting some appearances as well in this match, which was a great experience for them as well. So in terms of the storyline of this match, I mean, Joe Lolly opens the scoring after a couple of minutes. Obviously, it was 2-2 heading into this second leg. Great start for Sydney FC. 18th minute, the equaliser comes from Bangkok United. And then from there, it was Sydney FC who certainly, the second leg was very much like the first in the sense that Sydney FC did have a lot of the ball, were sort of pinning Bangkok United back and creating a lot of chances. But again, Bangkok United showed, as they did in the first leg, that if they got away on the counter-attack, they looked dangerous. And that's, what happens when you play against Sydney FC. We've seen many times this season, opposition teams look really dangerous on the counter-attack. And that's because it just seems to be the way that Sydney play and set up. They commit a lot of numbers forward, and that can leave them quite exposed at the back. And we did see that at times during this game for Bangkok United. Second half, plenty of drama. You had that red card. Bangkok United reduced to 10 players, a second yellow there. And then Adrian Segacic. Well, first of all, we should mention prior to that, Bangkok United did have that 2-1 lead, and it was looking a little bit nervy for Sydney FC. Segacic stepping up with that equaliser. I mean, again, we don't need to say anything more about Adrian Segacic, just an incredible talent who's coming in clutch again for Sydney FC. And then the extra time was a real grind. Obviously Bangkok United with just the 10 players doing a lot of sitting back, defending, again, trying to utilise that counter-attack, but it was the Sky Blues. You just felt like it was inevitable that they were going to score in the end. And in the end, it does feel like that they did deserve the win. Costa finally breaking through in extra time. A great goal from the Brazilian star as well. And the Sky Blues progress through to the next stage. Again, 19 shots, 5 on target for Sydney FC. They had most of possession in this game as well. But overall, a really entertaining matchup between the two teams. And again, there was a solid chunk of this game where you felt like Sydney FC, this was about to slip away from them. And then that would have been a real blow, I think, for Sydney FC. I think the expectation from them was to progress through to the next phase. And, they had to do it the hard way in the end. Extra time in the second leg, 5-4. And the thing is now for Sydney FC is that we're just going to have to, they need to have, some sort of improvement if they want to progress deeper into this tournament because, against, again, the sides that they're going to be coming up against are just going to get, tougher and tougher. The tests are going to become more difficult for the Sky Blues, and they themselves are going to need to improve if they want to progress through these defensive lapses. Again, we saw in this game just playing out from the back, Devonish-Mears maybe not with the right pass there, and Sydney FC were getting caught out, and you can't for those sorts of mistakes in these tournaments against some of the top teams in Asia. And Sydney FC are going to need to fix up those little mistakes. Ufuk Taylor has a lot of work to do. And look, it's going to be a busy couple months coming up. Obviously, they'll have the quarterfinals next month. And then, look, the A-League season is super busy at the moment for Sydney FC, who are sort of in a real battle at the moment, sort of on the edge of finals, need to find some form if they want to hold on to their place in the top 6. So it's a hectic time for Sydney FC, but this is a really, really important sort of gritty win for them to go away to Thailand, win 3-2 on the night. They keep the dream alive in the Asian Champions League 2. But my question for you is, do you believe that this Sydney FC side is capable of winning the Asian Champions League 2? For me, I think they are. I think if they do fix up those little mistakes, they certainly can. They have the quality. Again, you think that they were missing, Klamal and Wahim tonight. I think overall they have the depth and the quality to go all the way, especially after seeing, look, the miracle that Central Coast Mariners achieved last year as well, going all the way. And obviously the tournament was a completely different format as well last year. So Sydney FC, maybe it's a little bit more straightforward for them to get through to the final itself. But they will certainly have high hopes of going all the way in this tournament. But the question is for you guys, will they get all the way and lift the trophy as well? Could we see 2 Australian sides lift this trophy, this competition's trophy, back-to-back, 2 years back-to-back, which would be quite something for Australian sport as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button on this video and stay subscribed for more Australian football talk right here on Coastwatch Football. My name's Lockie. I'll see you in the next one.